prevalent, especially in the South. I'm sorry, I can't hear you. You're off the set, I guess, off the earphones?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah,
I thought
no.
it was interesting, though, because they show him, going through the crowd, and clearly you can hear through the other speaker his wife feeding him the information.
Of course. This is, you know what they do in some of these places, because I went to one of these tent meetings one time, and they get a person who's coming in, and the person may have a cane, and the guy says, you know what? Excuse me, sir, would you be more comfortable if I put you in the wheelchair and sat you up front? No, naturally, everybody thinks these guys are something special. Yeah, I'd like to be up front. So the guy sits in the wheelchair and he goes up front. And the guy said, you know what? Tell you what, sir, at some point, we'd like to use you on the program. Why don't you to get up out of the wheelchair when he asks you to? You can tell him that you have, what kind of pain do you have? Well, I got arthritis. That's what causes me to use the cane. Okay, tell him you got arthritis. But now, this guy can actually walk. So now what happens is when the evangelist comes around and says, you got pain? Yes, I got arthritis. Well, get out of that wheelchair. Let me see you walk. Well, the guy's walking exactly as he did when he walked into the place. But everybody around the place go, ooh, ah, he, And they do this all the time. And what gets me is that the people don't get it. They don't get it. It's like they think wrestling is real. Pro wrestling is real.
You never know who's going to win.
We know who's going to win. We know that they rehearse, but yet people can't wait to see it. Well, you know what? It's become a great show. I mean, better than it was before. When I first started wrestling, we had some ideas that maybe these guys actually did wrestle. Some of them did. Some of them did. They had preset winning, but some of these guys actually wrestled. There were guys that actually did wrestling in schools, or they learned how to do judo. They knew how to throw each other, but it wasn't as exciting as today. Now the guy jumps off the ring ropes, does 5 guinea backflips. I mean, all these things, they're very athletic today, which they weren't back then.
They're big showmen now.
They're big showmen. In fact, there used to be a guy who used to wrestle. In fact, I saw him at the Capitol Theater in Union City once. He was called Ricky Starr. Now, Ricky Starr was about 5'10", and he weighed about 200 pounds. And he was a ballet dancer at one time. And that's the way he went around the ring, like he was very effeminate. And he became a star. And he was actually beating guys 260 pounds. Well, we know that's not true. He was doing flips and turns and hitting them with his ballet shoes in the face. I mean... But it's a show, and that's fine.
It's like a soap opera.
Well, that's what these things should be treated as, a show to be laughed at, as opposed to be taking your money out of your pocket.
And that's exactly what I was laughing at.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was laughing at when I saw it. Now, the next one I'd like you to find is Benny Hinn. And Benny Hinn in the white suit, because here he heals people. They show that he heals 500 people by flipping his hand out, and 500 people fall. That's the part of the healing process. It's the words when he puts his hand on you, for some stupid reason, you're supposed to fall back and have the grace of God go through you, and you're healed, So, but if you look up Benny Hinn, you'll find there's one in there where they show people falling all over the place. I mean, it's a pisser to watch these things. And again, there's 30,000 people sometimes at these meetings, 10,000. They believe this nonsense, and meanwhile, there's been no proof that any of these guys have healed anyone from a serious illness. Now, you could get caught up in the fever of these things if you're a believer in faith, and you might get caught up with it, and it's certainly known that the adrenaline and the power of the brain to heal the body certainly has happened before. So if there's body healing from its own self happening because you're caught up in the moment, that can happen, but it's only temporary. There's never been long-term proof that the body can heal itself long-term on major issues like cancer or anything that is totally debilitating.
I found a clip here on Benny Hinn. It's called "Let the Bodies Hit the Floor."
There you go. How long is that clip?
About 2 minutes. I'll play the audio.
Play the audio for me and let the people watch the video.
Bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the...
I'm sorry, folks. We needed the video and that, not just the audio.
Yeah, I'm looking at the video now, and there's people falling all over the place.
Oh, yeah. They're falling. This guy
knocking them down 2, 3 at a time.
There you go. Well, wait till he knocks down everybody in the first 10 rows.
Yeah. He's knocking them down just looking at them.
Yeah, and he's waving his hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's waving his, and they're going down by the wayside. They're going down by the wayside. We need this guy in the front in Iraq. Well, I think the government should just give Benny Hinn the opportunity to go out to Iraq and then just wave his hand and knock out 500 of the enemy at one time.
I think he can do it.
I think he can do it.
He's the guy.
He's the guy. He's our man. He's our secret weapon.
See, this is why we need a draft.
Yes, right. Yes, this is the Big D, Dennis DelleFave for Speak Out Florida. With John Sotolara as our producer. He's in the booth there. He's watching this video and Benny Hinn knocking everybody down.
And I tell you, what I noticed is that every time he raises his arms, everyone falls.
Yeah, they fall.
It could be a right guard thing.
Yeah, it could be. You never know. I mean, this guy has probably strong body odor.
It could be.
But that white suit, though, that's the thing. That makes him really look good, is the white suit. He needs that white suit. He goes out there, and then he sings out of key besides. You got to hear when he's singing. You got to be tone deaf to enjoy it. But, and he's got a lot of, let me tell you something. One thing I got to say about these ministries, they keep a lot of musicians working because they all have these elaborate musical groups. I'll tell you who I like to watch because they don't talk about, God and prayer and things like that, but they sing religious music, and that's the Gaither family. Did you ever hear about them?
No, I haven't.
Well, there's a Bob Gaither, I think his name is, and he has guys like the Gatlin brothers singing with him. The voices that he has on his programs are absolutely outstanding. I mean, some of these gospel singers, it's a gospel group, and they go around the country, and he makes a ton of money going out to and performing these shows. And it's all religious oriented, but it's not like, come to us and donate to us. You pay your way into the auditorium legitimately and you watch it like you watch a concert. And that's what he does.
Yeah.
I think it's Bob Gaither, his name is. And he has some of these great singers. Some of the guys used to be backup singers for Presley.
Oh.
Yeah. So, he had some great singers on it. And he's got some guys that are great comedians. They talk mostly about religion, but they do it in a comedic way, and they also poke fun at each other. And there's one particular guy, I forgot his name, but I'll tell you, funny son of a gun. Funny guy. So that's the kind of religion I do like. If that's the way they do it, that's fine. But these guys that are out there healing people by touching them and screaming and hollering and talking in tongues, if you pulled up a Kenneth Copeland talking in tongues, if you talk about, just put Kenneth Copeland, Copeland, speaking in tongues, and you'll see that you'll fall on the floor. You will fall on the floor for the stupidity of it, and the fact is that people actually, he's the largest church denomination in Texas. He's as big as Joel Osteen, and he's on the morning shows too. His show is on the air on Channel 13 locally, him and his wife, and they just, it's unbelievable what these people, what they profess. But if you pull up Kenneth Copeland, you can see speaking in tongues. Did you get anything at all on the computer, John?
I've got a lot of Copeland stuff here, tongues.
Yeah, put in the word tongues, speaking in tongues, in the search. And you'll find that
I
there's
got dueling tongues.
dueling tongues. I don't want dueling tongues. Kenneth Copeland. Now, let's not get sexual here. That's not what the show's about.
That's just incredible.
Yeah, John, I'm surprised at you. I am surprised at you.
Wasn't expecting that.
Yes, well, that's not what we want. And YouTube has that, huh? Good deal. I'll tell you one thing I'm going to enjoy is to watch Jay Leno at 10 o'clock at night. I always liked Jay Leno. I liked him better than Letterman. I like him better than the others. I like when he does his conversations on the street with people, and he asks them simple questions like, when was Benjamin Franklin president? And people actually either answer the question, give the date, or they didn't even know who Benjamin Franklin was. I came to the conclusion most of the world is kind of rather ill-informed. I can't say dumb because that's not fair. Just ill-informed. People are just not up to date.
And that's just it. A lot of people just don't know.
They don't know. Who's the Bean Company? We carry some of the finest coffee beans in the world. It's the Bean Company. You could find them by calling them at 561-755-2595. The Bean Company supplies you coffee beans direct. So give them a call, 561-755-2595. And if you're going to use a good realtor, let's say you want to sell your house in a very, very down market, well, the guy I would put my house in the hands of would be Prestige Realty. Ed Koziak, right? Ed Koziak can show you all of Palm Beach County has to offer. So call Ed at 561-755-2595.